The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. As Jesus continued his journey to Jerusalem, he traveled through Samaria and Galilee. As he was entering a village, 10 persons with leprosy met him. They stood at a distance from him and raised their voices, saying, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And when he saw them, he said, "Go show yourselves to the priests." As they were going, they were cleansed. And one of them, realizing he had been healed, returned glorifying God in a loud voice. And he fell at the feet of Jesus and thanked him. He was a Samaritan. Jesus said in reply, 10 were cleansed, were they not? Where are the other 9? Has none but this foreigner returned to give thanks to God? Then he said to him, "Stand up and go. Your faith has saved you." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. I think this Thanksgiving holiday it's just America's holiday, right? Pretty universally, everybody loves Thanksgiving. There's not a lot of, whether you're Christian or not, at Thanksgiving or Easter, or whether you're whatever. It's just the universal holiday that everybody loves, I feel. And I think we can probably testify that. Things slow down, people stop, we get together as family, we give thanks. That's what we do. And I think not only is it a universal holiday, it's a universal disposition for all of us to give thanks. Right? We like that. It's good for the human person to stop and give thanks. That's probably why we enjoy the holiday, because it makes us feel good because we stopped and we're choosing to give thanks. That's the benefit we receive from doing so. It's like, I feel at peace, you know. So I think there's just goodness in this holiday. I think this speaks to what we do here at Mass, but also what's done in the gospel, right? So we see in this scenario that 10 guys, 10 people with leprosy came to Jesus. "Lord, have mercy on us." Our Lord, like he does, heals them. Okay, then they go on their way. And what's the one guy do? He stops and he goes back and he thanks Jesus. Okay, so that's what we're doing. That's what we do in this holiday, but it's what we do when we go to Mass. We stop and we return to Jesus and we give thanks. And that makes our hearts feel good, right? So I think that's the procedure. I'm kind of convinced that you can't give thanks on the run. I think you can say the word, but I don't think it is true gratitude. I think gratitude really requires you to stop and consciously thank God. And when I do that, it just opens my heart to an encounter to him. That's why it's a good day for America, but it's a good day in the church. It's what we do. Okay, so I would say, I think we experience that, whether we come to Mass or this day or not, but I think we got to choose it. Because 9 times out of 10, we don't choose it, right? That's the average in the gospel. It's probably the average in our lives. It's probably the average in America that we just run, right? We might say it on the go, but it really doesn't have the same effect. So like if we just, instead of just doing it 10% of the time, evidently Jesus expected all 10 to come back and give thanks. I think he wants 100% of the time for our hearts to give thanks. So to choose that disposition of stopping, okay, take a breath, thank you, Dad, right? That's we can do that here, we can do it out there, we can do it all the time. All right, but the same result, I think, happens, that our hearts open to an encounter with God. When we come to Mass and give thanks, right, the Eucharist, what happens? Jesus shows up. When we stop and give thanks at any time, what happens? We encounter God. That's why I think America likes this holiday, because it forces us to give thanks to someone who has given us something, i.e. God. Okay, so I think just if we continue to do what we're doing, we can still experience the peace of this national holiday, the peace that we experience inside this church. We can continue to experience that out there if we choose to give thanks. We got to stop and choose it. Stop, return to Jesus, say, thank you. And then our hearts are open, we encounter him. I think it's a good thing. We experience it for sure throughout our life. I think the goal is to like push against the 10% of the time and up it. Let's get to 100. That's what our Lord wants. To just have that constant open heart to give him thanks always. Then it's a constant encounter with him.